Hi, welcome to our video. We're so
Hello.
excited to create this 2021 kickoff. I'm Angie. I'm the creator of Life Purpose Pathfinder and the Life Purpose Pathfinder YouTube. And I'm here today with my really good friend, Rhonda. I'm so excited that she's here. She is a fellow Akashic Records enthusiast. And Rhonda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Angie. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and everybody. I'm an intuitive transformational coach and healer. I help women to discover their true self and to love every part of themselves. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, you do. That is awesome. Yay. So we just went through a huge tech drama and now we finally got the internet working. We got Zoom working. So we're excited to share with you the messages that we're getting for this 2021 kickoff video. We're in the Akashic Records right now, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so we have opened up the records. And we were getting some initial messages before our tech nightmare with, going all around trying to figure out how we were going to use the internet and do this video. And we each pulled out, did you pull out like 4 decks of cards? Because I did.
I pulled out 3.
Okay.
There's 3 that spoke to me. The other one stayed quiet. So I was like, okay, well, just the 3 of them.
Perfect. Okay. So we're just, we're going to kick off with our first card, which we have pulled nothing, actually. We got some initial impressions, and I'm just going to start off and share some of the initial impressions that I got. So this kind of like, as I was tuning into the collective energy of, it was like kind of like January out, like about a month and a half, the first message I was getting is this push that we're seeing to divide people is going to be backfiring. So that is actually the push to unite people. Even though from our human perspective right now, it looks like, wow, what's all this division? Like, it feels like everywhere you turn, like there's some message that's coming out to create more division, right? But that ultimately is going to be something that's going to unite people. So that I felt like it was a really good, that was just right upon opening the records was the first thing that was coming to me.
I feel that people are really ready for that. Yeah, that was the energy that I was receiving too, that inspiration, that hope for that unity, for that all like we are one, like come together, this peace and unite. And I feel like really the energy that we're experiencing as we're trying to pull together, the readings and everything, I think that is part of the energy of this, this new month, this new year. It's just right now, I think everyone's it's a kerfluffle. It feels just a kerfluffle. It's kind of like throwing it all in the air. Like the feathers are all in the air and things are going all over the place. And so like we can see what we come up with and what we're creating. And so we can find a way to unite with each other.
I love that. It is a kerfluffle. Perfect word. I love made up words. And my autocorrect hates me for that because I'll make up the craziest word and autocorrect is like, no, what you mean is, and it just inserts all these other things. I'm like, no, actually, I really did make up that word.
Yeah.
So that's it is like that. And it's interesting that you say that too, because the second image I had was of like, there's like all these strings, and say like all these strings are kind of like, like the familiar kind of like ideas or thoughts or thought loops or whatever that we're pulling for, right? Like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. I'm going to pull to the familiar, whatever I know. And that's kind of like what the strings represented. But I saw like when people pulled their familiar strings, they were not attached to anything. Like the strings just fell and they had nothing to hold on to. So I think it does give us that unsettling feeling. Like when we're looking out in the world and like things that worked before aren't working anymore, and the new energy. And it's like, oh my gosh, we get that feeling like, well, what does work? And I don't, who am I? And where do I fit into this? And where is our nation going? Where is the world going? Because there's just so much going on in the world. And there is that moment of, releasing, and then that kind of unsettled feeling, or like that grief of letting go of the way that things did work, or the things that we were part of before. And I feel like that's what the strings represented. I don't know if you're getting anything around that.
That absolutely makes sense to me. That feels like that. It feels like people are pulling these strings, and it's building this energy of anxiety, and because we're trying to do the same things that we've been doing before, like, why isn't it working? And almost like caught in this cycle, and it's creating all of the feathers, everything all over the place. It's just this place we need to find a new path. And so I think that's what we're looking towards, finding that new path. And I think that's what's really interesting about it, is it's like we're all coming from different directions. It's almost like that snowstorm, you can't see what's going on, and we're coming from different directions, and we're going to end up coming together, like, accidentally. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. That totally makes sense. And when you're saying like the confetti and the feathers and stuff, I was on a call the other day, and someone described this period that we're in as the cleanup after the party. Like, the parties happen, like, when we went through the solstice, like, we came through, even though we're not fully recognizing this new space that we're in, this new energy, right? But we did come through, and we did have a party, like, especially the higher versions of us, right? And then we're sort of like experiencing the cleanup after the party, which is like a mess. Like, you're walking around, like, you're like, who put that random bottle right there? Like, how'd they even get it up there? You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, what happened last night at this party?
Did that happen? Yes. And it was fun, and it was fabulous, but you'd have no idea what happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the way they were describing that. And I think it makes sense with like the images that we're seeing.
That's interesting. This was the card that I just pulled. You'll find what you seek. So this is, where did I go? Here we go. The notes from the universe on love and connection. And this, from Mike Dooley. Beautiful. So, and it said, if you've ever suddenly been loved by someone, amazing, awesome, fun, and fantastic, chances are astronomical you will again. And if you haven't yet found such a person, chances are astronomical that you will. And it's up to you, the universe. And I think this is really, if you've ever suddenly found and been loved by someone, by yourself, it's like we're falling in love with ourselves, these newer, higher versions of ourselves. And we're creating this, and it's astronomical. We will find this again. So I think we're finding this within each other. It's like this new dawn, this new experience. It's like we've all opened our eyes, and we're walking around and seeing how amazing everything is, how beautiful we are, the souls. Like, we're just seeing it all, after the party. Like, it's all done, right? We're just here, and it feels so pure. That's the sense that's coming through, this pure love. So it makes sense that we would unite under pure love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And the message I'm getting around that too is, it's just everybody's in their different place of when they're going to see that, like with your card, right? Like when they're going to open their eyes to the new. And some people are still going to be pulling at the strings for a while. Everybody's on their own timeline, and it takes however long it takes for each person, right, to come around to the new. Some people really resist, and I mean, I've been there, right? Like, resisting the new, like staying in the old, like, why is this all falling apart, but not accepting it fully, right? And then being like, I don't want to accept this is falling apart. I'm going to keep putting myself in that same box, in the same box, right?
Pulling the string
until the box just disappeared. Yeah, pulling the same strings until it just disappears. And there's like, that's not even an option, right? Like, the universe has had to do that before. Like, just take the box away from her. She's not getting it.
Yes, I had that experience where I felt like it just fell away. Like, this is no longer an option. And it was the coolest thing ever, just for that to just fall away like that. It's gone. It's just not there. It's powerful. Very powerful. Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that card. Yeah, totally on point. So as we were talking about the cards, I pulled this one. This is I love this deck because these messages are so simple. I know I say this a lot, but if you haven't ever checked this out, it was one of the first ones I ever bought. It's called Namaste by Tony Carmine Salerno. I might have said that wrong. But it's just very simple, gorgeous artwork, and then simple messages. So this is what the card looks like. It's a tree with a beautiful heart in the center. I feel like it represents, each one of us being that tree with that light above our head, right? And those roots going into the ground.
Yeah.
And then the heart right in the center, right? And it says a blessed heart. If you feel that something is missing, look within and you will find it. What is your heart saying? Your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is the eternal you. Know that you are free, protected, and blessed. That's really heartwarming. I don't know if you can see, it's probably not showing up well in the light, but heartwarming message there. That's a little bit better. It might be backwards, who knows?
I love how it's written, just how it's all put together nice, almost like a little heart.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like the way that they lined up the text. Yeah, I really love that. Your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is the eternal you, right? So it's kind of like people still, like we were saying, pulling at the old parts of themselves, like, oh, maybe this is still me, or maybe this still fits. But really, what fits is like being in the heart, right? Like that's where it's at. Like being in the mind isn't fitting anymore. Being in those old patterns and things like that, not fitting. In the heart is where it's at. Like that's the only place you're going to find that solitude, that peace, that serenity. The thing that you're looking for is not going to be here anymore. It's going to be here.
That is really interesting, because when I'm looking at that, I'm seeing you standing solidly in your truth, like just feeling that solidness of that tree. And that light is so bright. It's really just emanating that. And the heart is the center of it all. It's absolutely perfect.
It's really cool. Yeah, I love that. Let's do another one.
Yeah. I'm
More
thinking.
cards. I'm thinking I'm going to do messages from the angels. I'm going to do this one. This is Adoring Virtue. Is that what you picked too? Oh my gosh. Is it the same exact deck?
It's the Archangel Power Tarot cards. But I was
love it.
I'm like, let's bring some angel power into this. This is really interesting. I don't think I've ever pulled this card for myself. So there's a little book that goes with it. And I like to read that too, because sometimes I get some inspiration from that as well. But here, let me try to find it. It's so powerful. So it's the 2 of Gabriel, which is amazing. Like just the number 2. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see that there is like this rainbow over here. It's just the rainbow with the angel above it, and the water. And they're almost like they're in this bubble of light, right? And they're walking by the water, right? So there's lots of emotions like sort of being washed away and fresh and new. The tide comes in fresh all the time. That's what I'm getting. So make bold and ambitious choices. So great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. So, wow, that's really, really beautiful.
I love that. Such a good positive message.
It really is. And bold and ambitious. Like that's the new year that we're in. I think that we're all ready to start new things and step out and really, and I think we've recognized the importance of relationships throughout like this year that we have been through, and all this change, and now like moving forward. So this is what it is for the 2 of Gabriel. So you're making great progress. If you're experiencing a pause in the action, then it's time to reassert yourself and get things moving again. Be bold and ambitious. You may have a choice to make. Don't let indecision keep you from going forward. The right choice won't come from your mind, so follow your heart. Important relationships are possible right now. Partner with people who share your outlook and passion.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's perfect. Yeah, that goes, I feel like, right along with the other two cards.
Yes, I love it. We're
They're
doing this
flowing. Yeah.
dance. Yes, absolutely. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
well, this card's not, couldn't be bad. So Serena says, I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you
Ooh.
need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. Have faith. I see that. That's really powerful. Like just have
Mhm.
faith. And that's really what we're doing right now is we have to follow our heart and we have to have faith.
Yes. And knowing
And
that you'll be supported with all the things that you need, material and non-material things will always show up for you, right? No matter what that is when you choose to follow your heart. And that's, I
yeah.
think that's the leap that people have to take this year. That can be so
Mhm.
scary. It's like, wow, well, if I do this, how can I be sure that I'm going to have what I need, that I'm going to be able to put food on the table, that I'm going to be able to do all the things? But it's really about having that complete and total faith that the universe has your back, right? That
Yes.
no matter what you decide, if spirit brought you to that place, they're not going to drop you right then and there. Like, no, they're going to
Mhm.
keep providing for you, right? No matter whatever your needs are, it's going
Yeah.
to keep happening. And I feel like we're looking at that at the macro scale and then the micro within our own lives too, right? Like at the macro scale, we have to trust, right? We have to place so much trust in spirit right now, right? We have to place so much trust in that whatever is happening is in the highest good, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then
Yes.
of course listening to what
Mhm.
your own heart is saying about it and trusting that too, right? And knowing that whatever your heart is saying, even if it's different than what someone else is saying, to trust what your heart is saying, right? So yeah, I feel like the name of the game with all of this and you just rolling from 2020 to 21 is trust.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That trusting we are having to trust so many people. We have to trusting the government, trusting our schools, all of this stuff, trusting that we are going to have this amazing quality of life come back to us in this new way that we don't even know how that's going to look. We're all just, we got to make those bold decisions to move forward, right? And just let go of those strings and try these new things, standing in our truth and letting our light shine and following our heart and knowing that we are always surrounded by love and support and we are given all of the things that we need to support us, to help us, to give us that abundance, to fund us through it. And just to know that we are loved that much is just incredible. Like we're just so well guided. And I am actually pulling a card right now. This one just jumped out at me. It's the Angel Abundance, Doreen Virtue, and Grant Virtue.
Oh, nice. That I
Yeah.
have that deck too. I was looking down like, did I grab it? I didn't grab it.
Yeah. This is the
I love
one
that
I was
one.
talking about.
Yes,
Like
that one.
it
Yes,
looks
yes.
like a sacred book or something. It's just so gold and beautiful. And here it's it's perfect. Oh my gosh, there's a lion and the little baby cub and the lamb right next to the lion and the angel, and it's positivity, faith, and optimism. Sorry, I'm trying to find
Yeah, that's here, right there. Yeah.
there you
Oh,
go.
I
So
love that little lion cub.
that speaks volumes. Just
Yeah.
the lion and the lamb just resting so peacefully together, and the angel just watching over. And we're saying you open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. So do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep on going. Yeah, that's just perfect. That's right with the rest of our messages.
It is. That's oh, and I put all my cards away. I should have kept them out like you did. I put them away. Oh well. We saw
Okay.
them in the moment.
That's right.
Yes, that's perfect. And I'm getting the message around that too. That's coming to me is that no matter, like, when you turn on the news and things just don't look good, or they're just not fully making sense or whatever, just to know that there is something higher going on, right? Like to trust that no matter how things look, how obscure, how much illusion is falling away, or how much illusion you're seeing, not to worry, because all is coming together, and to trust that no matter how weird it can look, it's still for the highest good, right? Like
Yeah.
it's for the highest good. And I know sometimes that can be one of the hardest journeys in your own spiritual discovery, is accepting that the things in your life and the things in the world and all the reflections that you see are for your highest good and everyone's highest good, right? So that can be a journey of accepting.
Yeah. We may not understand what's happening, but we know that it is for our highest good. And so much, it's like, so many pieces are going on behind the scenes, but it's all coming together for us. And we are just going to move forward into this. And we need to have that positive expectation, know that we're loved, and trust that all is well, and move forward and make bold and awesome decisions, to just really embrace who we are, and the love and that we have for ourselves and for our community, for everyone. Like, we think we have this new born love for each other, to really take care of each other, to love each other, to watch out for each other. And we've just sort of have this newness about us. And so we, just like the little baby lamb with the lion, like, they have to really trust to be together like that. And so I think that's a perfect message for us. We just need to trust and have that positive expectation and know that we are taken care of and all is well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you were saying that, I was thinking about how um, I love working in the Akashic records. That's one of my favorite things, is when you're looking at, situations in your life, your own life or whatever, and you're saying, how could that have been in my highest good? That was so painful, or that was so difficult, or whatever, right? Whatever the situation was. And it doesn't diminish that wasn't true, right? Of course, that is or was your truth, that it was painful and it was difficult.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I love going into the records and seeing the soul's perspective, where it's like, oh, wow, that was the greatest learning potential for my personal power, or for forgiveness, or for how to learn how to really love myself, or whatever the multitude of lessons would be, right? But that's one of my, I really love that. I love to go in and see the soul's perspective, because it's always so different than our human earthly perspective when we're looking through just this, personality lens of things. And a lot of times that can end up being the victim lens, or the hero lens. And so we can end
Mhm.
up, in one of these buckets, and we can kind of view the world from that place, right? Rather than, wow,
Yes.
how is this? And we can really ask, like, on the daily, like, if you really think about it, if everything's happening for your highest good, you could ask every day, anything that's happening or showing up in your experience, you can say, how is this in my highest good? Right? And you can go
Absolutely.
into meditation around it.
Yeah, and get those answers. So those real-time answers, and it can be so surprising because it's filled with such love, right? We might be seeing something in, like, anger or disbelief, doubt, but when you see it through love, well, and your soul, it tends to come through in this very matter-of-fact way. Like, this is just, a lesson on forgiveness, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, it makes it so simple where it's like, okay, so I can release that. I learned this lesson. I'm thankful for this lesson. and now I'm better for it, and I can grow from it, and now I appreciate that and can move on and just like let that part of it go and be so thankful and happy to be free from those lower level, blame and shame, and like we no longer have to do that. We don't. We're all just kind of players in the same game. We're helping each other out. We, came in this lifetime, and sometimes you're the bad guy, the villain, whatever, and sometimes you're just playing different roles, that you're the victim, or whatever it may be. So there's no blame, there's no shame. We just get to let that all go and be in our soul's perspective, love, forgiveness, and grow from that. Yeah, so I think
Yes.
we're going to be doing a lot of growing this year.
Yes.
as
Yes.
as a nation, as the world. We're kind of taking those baby steps together, forming this new reality, this new life. Like, what does that look like? You got to make those bold decisions to step forward instead of stepping back to the usual, the tried and what used to be true, and it's no longer true anymore. It just doesn't fit. Like, we've risen above all of that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. Like the strings don't even they're not even connected to anything. Like that's how I saw it. It was
No.
just like,
Yeah,
where's my string? I guess I don't have one.
that was great.
Yeah, no strings.
Free
Yeah.
flying.
And I'm getting to, if anyone, if this is resonating with anyone, to look up online. I can't remember who actually wrote or created the diagram of the victim triangle, but look it up. I don't want to say, one name is coming to my mind, but I don't want to be wrong. So just look up the rescue triangle. That's the official name of it. It's the victim, the perpetrator, and the hero. And if you're participating in any one side of the triangle, the best thing to do is exit, because you're ultimately always going to find yourself in the victim seat, no matter how you're coming into the triangle. And that really is not the place that you want to be. That's not an empowered place. That's not when you're standing in your sovereignty and really becoming all that you can be in this life. So check it out if you never have before. It was one of the most amazing things I learned when I went to hand analysis school, was about the rescue triangle. And I just remember learning about that and just thinking, wow, this is, it was just a mind-blowing experience for me. And then all the strings that I had attached to victim, perpetrator, and hero, like anytime I would reach for them, they were gone, right? So like I couldn't even play those cards anymore. So definitely check it out, because like Rhonda was saying, we've, in all of these lifetimes and experiences on this planet, played on every side of that triangle, right? So I feel like the more we can realize that, the more the easier it is for us to move through these experiences that we're having right now. And we can do it from a place of forgiveness, right? Because it's like, well, it's probably very likely that I've myself, in some other expression of me, done some of these exact same things, right, that have happened. And it helps you to have grace for people with wherever they're playing, right? Like wherever their consciousness is playing. So definitely check it out if it sounds like something that might interest you. I know it was for you. Didn't you say I know we've had this conversation, Rhonda. Wasn't that like a huge game changer for you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Once I understood that, I was like, "Oh, game on!" Right? And you can get, so I like to, it's like that drama triangle, the rescue triangle, whatever. It's just for me, it's the triangle of pain. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, you just, once you're in there, you go from being the judger, to being the victim, to the rescuer, and you're just like all stuck in the triangle. And the way to get out of the triangle is through love, the circle of love and forgiveness. right? Those are the ways. So we have to give that to ourselves. We have to give that to other people. We have to give that to, say, if we have our financial situations or our health, all of those things, because we oftentimes we play the victim to our health. We play the victim to our money situation. And so when you understand those roles, it's really helpful, because all you need to do, you understand, when you're becoming the victim and the rescuer, and you're like, oh, I'm in the triangle.
Mhm.
You step back, right? Give love, just love everybody, just give a little grace, step back from it, and then you're free, right? You're free because you're not interacting, right? You're not playing those things. You stand and you create your boundaries, this new beautiful circle that you get to stand in, and you learn how to create boundaries with people, because a lot of the world functions in, the triangle of pain, and we
Yeah.
don't even know it. We're just all, that's kind of, we're raised that way. That's what our parents knew, that's what their parents knew, and that's just what we've kind of continued this cycle until we said, hey, wait, look, stop, hold up, because that that does not feel good. Like, let's not do that, right? Let's back the train up. Let's let's think about this, right? And just love. And that's what I love about the Akashics. So just all the healings and everything that happens there, it's all about love, forgiveness, like gratitude for that lesson, and then just like letting it go, right? Forgive yourself,
Yeah.
forgive the other, thank for the lesson, thank you for this, the gratitude of it, and now I can move on. And it's so perfect to be able to just move on. So yeah, I think that that's like an excellent, if you have things that are kind of you're struggling with, or if you have experiences, maybe it's hard, what we're going through now is hard, right? So maybe you need some support, and I know Angie can help you with that, and I can help you with that, and there are people all around you, right? The circle of love is full of people who want to help you, so just reach out. You don't have to do it alone, and this is going to be an amazing adventure, and sometimes it's a little bumpy and a little fluffy, but like you get through it, right? You get through it and you expand and you rise above it, and that's what I think that we're going to do when we're coming together. Eventually we're coming together as unity and as a nation, and just bringing all our hearts lights, just focusing all in one place and just really feeling that love and being in the growth of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you shared how that profoundly impacted you too, because it's so big. And I'm being guided to say that if you feel especially knocked off kind of your center by what's going on in the world, to really take in that drama triangle, because that is like the basis of the movie, right? If you think of all this that we're doing, is it's like the movie that we're watching, and like Rhonda said, that we've been watching because our parents watched the movie, and our grandparents, our great grandparents, and everybody has been watching the same movie, and it involves the same three characters: the hero, the victim, and the perpetrator. And once you realize that, and you look at the events in the outer world through that lens, say you're watching the news, or you're just anything, we're all exposed to the outer world in different outlets, right? But once you see it through that lens, you're not affected in the same way. It doesn't knock you off your center, because you see, like Rhonda said, everybody's just playing whatever side they're most familiar with playing, right? They're just playing out that role. And it's, at the end of the day, it's all for everyone's highest growth and highest good. And now the beautiful thing is, with, going through the party of 2021, we're leveling up in the game, right? We're all going to eventually, even if people are still trying to pull the strings, we're all going to eventually realize that doesn't work anymore. We're going to step out of living our lives from the drama triangle that's been, passed down forever, however long, right? For years and years and years and thousands of years, right? People aren't going to live from that place anymore. They're going to live from an empowered and sovereign place within themselves, and also in unity with those around them. in a
Oh,
place
yeah.
of sovereignty, right? So yeah, it just was perfect. Like our guides really obviously wanted us to talk about the drama triangle today. It was obviously important.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
and it does, I feel like, help navigate your life in a huge way, and just decide that is not your reality anymore, right?
And just having awareness of it
Yes.
really helps, because sometimes we can be so into our beliefs and our values, all of these things that, we've been told this, so it's our truth, right? So it's not our real truth, but it's just like we've been told these things, and we just kind of get stuck in that, right? And so just being able to see, like, oh, you can recognize if something feels like, oh, that's the victim. Oh, or if you see somebody coming in to rescue, you're like, oh, okay, so I recognize it. I started to see how people will be interacting with me. What I thought would be like really innocent, it's like when people help you without you asking for it, then they're rescuing or being the hero, right? Because no one can save you better than you can save yourself, right? And so when you stand down to those other people, when you say like, I'm not good enough, I need somebody to save me, right? That's like what I noticed, that there's that sort of that pattern. So at least if you don't know, you're like, oh, okay, I see that there's this pattern going on. At least if you just know about the parts of it, that's a huge start. Just start paying attention, like make that your intention, to pay attention to your conversations and to have things in your day-to-day life, and just watching, or maybe even other people while they're talking, and you get very familiar. You can almost be sitting at the restaurant like, oh, there's the victim, oh, there's the rescuer, oh, there's the person, the judger, right? So it's so powerful when you become aware of it, because then it's like, oh, this is so obvious. This
Yeah.
is so obvious. We all just need love, and
Mhm.
we just need to back out. Like it's like
Yeah.
we're cramped in this little circle. We need to back out, give each other
Yeah.
space, and be love. Like love yourself, love others, and give yourself that room. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to back out to be able to understand, and sort of recalibrate, because when you're stuck in in this triangle of pain, you're surrounded by people in pain, so that's all you know for a while.
Yeah.
So backing up, giving yourself that space and that love will help you to be able to recognize, so that you can make these changes, and just one step at a time, and just making it with your following your heart, like we
Yep.
talked about. It's like following your heart, and the faith, having faith, and really
Yep.
making those bold
Trust. Yeah.
decisions. Trust, you got to move
Yeah.
forward.
So hopefully that
Yes.
helps you to navigate through this next period of time. And then Rhonda, tell them about your fabulous group that you have and some of the things that you offer.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So I have the Soul Fire Sisters Circle Facebook group. And that's important, because there's another one that's a Soul Fire Sisters. So my group is the one that it's got a red phoenix on the front of it, and it says, a heart filled with love is like a phoenix that no cage can imprison, and that's a Rumi quote. And so that's really the essence of the group. We do wonderful meditations and Akashic healings, and it's this community of supportive women, and we come together and we hold the space for each other, and we have a lot of fun, and we really bring out our inner children come out to play. And so I'm really looking forward to what 2021 has, in store, and I would love for new people to join, and that always helps us, moves us in a new direction, because we co-create this group together, and that's what the beautiful thing is. It's just such powerful, fun energy, and I'm excited to know, more about, like, what do you want, what are you looking for. And there's definitely going to be lots of Akashic healings and meditations, and that's what I love to do, sharing more with the world of the Akashics, and I'm excited for that. So thank you so much. And I can also be reached at Rhonda Richard Coaching at gmail.com. And that's my email. And if you have any questions or want to talk about, I do coaching with women and I also do Akashic healings. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, such a great group of women, your Facebook circle. And we'll post that link to under the video. So you can click on that link to take you straight to Rhonda's group where you can ask to join the group. So it'd be awesome to have you in there. And I also have a Facebook group. It's Life Purpose Pathfinders. I teach people how to read their own Akashic records and how to read for others. I also do scientific hand reading. And I will put the link to my website in the comments. And I have a journey coming up that I'm excited to offer. It's on, I'm excited. It's called Purpose and Prosperity Journey. And it's at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Thursday, the 28th. Sorry, I just had to check my calendar. Thursday, the 28th, Mountain Time in the morning. That could be, anytime across the world. So morning for Colorado. And I will put the link to sign up for that in Zoom in the comments. So we'd love to see you there. I'm really super excited about that journey.
Oh, that's wonderful. And if you're not able to make it live, are they able to do the replay?
Yes, thank you. Yes, you have to register. And then if you can't make it, I will actually send out the replay to everybody afterward. It's fun to have you live, but I understand it could be any time of the day for people across the world. So if you're not able to make it, please do register anyway, and then you'll get the replay. So yes, thank you for saying that.
Yes, I got to share. You got to. You just got to. When you experience Angie's healings and journeys, it's phenomenal. So, and it's always like up to the date. Like she's getting downloads like right before, the group even, like as we are starting to air, she's still getting downloads, and that just makes it incredible because we're always changing. I think you get into the energy of the group and it's what the group is needing and wanting, and you do an excellent job with that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm excited to be able to see that and take part. So thank you. What a beautiful gift.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Hit the bell so that you know when I'm putting another video on. Like, comment, and please share if you feel like this video would help anyone in your circle. And reach out to Rhonda or I if you're needing support. We are here for you.
Yes.
So have an amazing January, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.